You are now listening to Highline's newest social justice podcast, Safer Sound. In this radio show, we will open our minds and our hearts to new perspectives and new people. Let's explore together the meaning of creating true, safe spaces in the Puget Sound and our local areas, especially through a transformative justice lens. Transformative justice is all about getting to the root of the systemic issues that continue to threaten the safety of our communities, not just physical, but also psychological and emotional safety. We want to see a more safe and more harmonious future for everyone in the Puget Sound region. Shout out to the Highline Heritage Museum for serving as our home base, and to One America 106.5 Low Power FM for offering this beautiful and unique space for us to have this show. We also want to give a shout out to Washington State Historical Society for sponsoring and making this show possible. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Tian Van, and I'm so excited to talk with you. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Safer Sound. This is our show together where we will be talking and sharing knowledge amongst each other so that we can better learn and understand and empathize, and also learn how to support folks who are facing issues in our society today. So I thank you for listening, and I am so excited to introduce my guest, Tiana Ninja, or Tiana Louboutin Ninja.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tiana Armani, but I am Tiana Louboutin Ninja in the ballroom scene. I walk femme performance, and I am a woman of trans experience. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you for being willing to do this.
Of course.
I was really excited to hear from you. So, actually, some background. Me and Tiana used to be in a house together. I'm not going to name it, actually.
Yes, that's of the past, but that's how we know each other.
That's how we know it. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna be talking about her experience as a trans woman, and just speak to how can you best support us. What do you need to know to understand what folks are going through, and still actively going through this today. So let's talk about what are some issues that you see impacting folks like you, or the girls like you.
The girls. Yes. Well, firsthand experience, I feel like, as we all know, we're all under attack. The trans community is under attack. And I feel like they're trying to take away our health care. They're trying to erase us. And I feel like, there's just a lot of energy for this 1% of the world. And I feel like, yes, we're under attack, everybody. The girls are under attack. We're just trying to live.
And the data is there. If you see, like she said, we're only such a small percentage of the world, but still face so much discrimination and disproportionate rates of violence.
Right.
And not just violence, but also houselessness and financial insecurity, and not being respected in just places where, like, just normal life. And that's just such a hard thing to go through, is like you're moving through the world and you know who you are, but no one wants to believe you.
Right. Exactly. Like, I feel like as trans women, especially myself, like, I feel like society expects us to meet a standard of femininity or masculinity, and essentially these social constructs are just, what's the word? ¿Cómo se dice? Like, what's the word?
Like made up?
Yeah, like made up. It's all made up. Yes, it's all made up.
Like it only has as much weight as we give it.
Right.
Because I feel like labels can be good, like when you're trying to find your people and understand yourself more. But there's only so far that a label can take you. Like, just how, like, I'm a Vietnamese person, that's a label. But that's not all of who I am as a person. And so it's just kind of like that. Like, you don't choose these things. You know, sometimes you don't get to choose these identities. You're born like that.
Right. But in those acts of hatred, in those moments of like, we're under attack, like, I feel like one really good thing to do, I mean, as an ally, like, especially because it's Pride Month, allies, educate yourselves and kind of even ask your trans friends, like, you know, understand the experience. You guys, you know, like, try to gain an understanding, because it's more than just, oh, they want to transition to be a boy or transition to be a girl. No, some people, this is a life or death situation. And not a lot of people understand that. And even like the
suicide rates.
Suicide rates, exactly. Like, when you aren't able to express yourself and be open with yourself, and you feel like you're trapped in your body, there's no other way but transition or die, of course you're going to choose what's going to make you happy, what's going to bring that healing and really make you feel like yourself. So that's step one, is educate yourself and understand the trans experience. And maybe not from a personal stance if you're not trans, but like, you know, stand up for your sisters and your brothers, your aunties and your uncles.
I do feel like, yeah, the trans experience is so unique, but there's also a lot of similarities in terms of the emotions we feel, because I'm sure we've all felt rejection or the feeling of not being accepted. And to have that be an issue for you with something that you don't get to choose, even if it's your race or your sexuality or whatever, like, I'm sure we all know that's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, being trans, like, being trans.
That's the sentence. Being trans. Okay, now let's talk about some ballroom, because I want to know more about your experience in it and where you think you're headed with your ballroom career. So, what is a house or figure in ballroom who has influenced you, and in what way?
I'd say, I mean, a ballroom figure that has influenced me, our guest has inspired me, is my mother, Destiny Juicy Ninja. She took me under her wing to join the House of Ninja, and I feel like she's a trailblazer for the West Coast. And she started a chapter in Africa. So she's just that girl. She really is just that girl. Another femme queen that I look up to and I really adore is Pandora West. Her Vogue is real nasty like. And yeah, I think those are two girls. You know,
Can you tell me a little bit about like their styles?
Yeah, so not Juicy, Destiny. She walks women's performance, runway, and she does it all. She really is that girl. But her style, she's more of like a, you know, she's women's performance, giving a little cute cat. But yeah, she's really fierce with it. And Pandora, she's a dramatics girl. You know, she got the body, she does hair whips and all that. You know, the spinning cat canoe, like, you know, it's all cute stuff. But the first time I like saw ballroom was that one like Vogue battle with Inksy. I think it was Cassandra and Laomi. So
who won?
I don't know who won, honestly. I think
it really be like that.
If y'all
Sometimes
seen Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon, Vogue Down, aka Inksy Alpha Omega, well, Alpha Omega now, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's the first thing. That's the first time I ever like came, like I saw a ballroom. Was that? So I've known about ballroom for a minute.
So what was your first ball anyways?
My first ball would be the City versus City Awards ball that occurred.
That was your first ball?
That was my first ball. I walked as a 007. I did not know what I was doing. You know, I came. So the effect called for a Seahawks.
The Seahawks colors. Because the City to City ball, let me explain this, was basically city versus city. We had Seattle in there. We had Portland in there. And
I think it was just Seattle versus Portland.
I thought there was more. Oh, maybe it was. Actually, it was just Seattle and Portland. So Portland had to wear, I forgot who
Red.
it was.
I think it was red and black.
The Blazers? Portland? I don't
Portland
know.
Blazers, yeah.
Portland Blazers, yes. And so they got to wear those colors, and we had to wear the Seahawks colors.
Seahawks colors, yes. Red, or not red.
It was white, blue,
and green.
And they had that green color, which are all colors that I was not used to wearing.
Yes. I came with nothing but a raggedy effect and a dream. I had this cardigan that I turned into I cut the sleeves and I gave it was like a strappy top, and then I had these like really distressed overback jeans and a cute little sandal heel.
Sandal.
And I still vogued down. And then shortly after that, I got recruited to a Kiki house that's no longer a house. And then after that, I was just a 007. No, but my experience in ballroom, what I find in ballroom is a lot of joy, a lot of community, a mutual understanding of, because we all have connected experience, like as trans people, I feel like we as a community, we understand, each other, especially with houses and chosen family and stuff. I feel like you're shown unconditional support and love. And I really enjoy that. And you have people to connect to, and, it just feels like a chosen family. So,
can you talk more about how your chosen family has impacted your life?
Yeah, I went from not having any support within the ballroom scene or just even out of it to leading up to meet Teeny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we that was my first chosen house, was the house
that I was in.
Yes. So that's how I met Teeny, and then I met some other folks in there. Yeah, how they impacted me is they gave me a family in a way where I felt supported and I had somebody people to lean on, yeah.
We all need someone to lean on.
Of course. Especially because, I left my family when I was 16, 17. And shortly after, that's when I found you guys. So, you know what, y'all, chosen family over blood family, because y'all, we keep it, like this.
Yeah, chosen family is definitely different because it's a choice.
Yeah.
And you choose each other. And sometimes, in a way, it doesn't, when you meet your chosen family, it doesn't even feel necessarily like a choice at that point. It's like this feels like it's meant to be, we were supposed to be family. Yeah.
You don't really choose. It just happens.
It does sort of happen like that.
One of my favorite things about ballroom is being able to express artistically and creatively, because to me, performance and Vogue is all about storytelling. And I feel like it's a release for me. Especially I'm really into fashion. And now I'm curating effects or costumes or whatever that match my aesthetic and also give me a sense of cunts. Can I say that? Can I say
I have no clue.
Cunts. Real cunts. Cunt.
Okay, I have another question for you.
Okay.
And can you share one of your favorite moments when the community really came together?
The Seattle ballroom scene?
I guess any scene, just ballroom in general, I mean. Yeah.
I want to say my favorite part or a moment in time was...
Okay, it doesn't have to be your favorite.
Okay.
I can see that was when
Yeah.
Honestly, when I get asked that question too, I'm like, man, I gotta choose.
Right.
But no, just any one time, and then if you want to share more than that, that's fine too.
Okay, yeah. I feel like when I had Hella Community, and I feel like we all came together, was when I was in LA. And when I was in LA for both the Kiki Hogwarts Awards Ball in April Fool's Ball. I saw a bunch of my Seattle friends and like peers in the ballroom scene that made me feel supported, especially because I've never been to LA before. Like, I felt like I had those people out in the crowd that were clapping for me in a room full of people that didn't know me. So that felt really sweet. Because like LA compared to the Seattle scene, it's like a war zone. Like, they're really serious about it. And, you know, Seattle is still very baby, and I feel like we're still growing as a community.
Definitely.
But yeah, like, I thank all my friends and the people and my peers that were out there who were just there for me that night.
I love that because, like, y'all weren't even, like, on your own turf, but it brought you more together being in a place where, like, you get to clap for each other and lean on each other.
Exactly.
I need to travel more.
Yes, my next trip, I'm going to go to New York.
Ooh, you're going to New York.
I'm going to New York in November.
Okay.
And I'm going back to LA in August. So.
Yay. Okay. Big plans, big plans. Can you tell us what category? Or maybe just, you know, you don't have to say them all, but what are some categories you might be walking?
Well, you already know. I'm always going to give performance, honey. You know, that's to be expected. Every time. Yeah. And I might be spitting on the mic, but who knows? Who knows?
Feel like it.
Right. Just if I'm feeling it, then I'm feeling it.
Okay, so how do you see the ballroom community, the ballroom scene evolving?
I think that we can really have some like powerhouses in the community. There's a bunch of people with ambition and the passion for voguing, you know, and I can't wait to see them come out, you know. Ultimately, I feel like I can see myself being a leader in the ballroom scene, especially the C-Tag, because I feel like I'm representing for the Tacoma girls.
Oh, for sure.
Because we have C-Tag
You're
ballroom.
carrying for the Tacoma girl.
Because I'm the only Tacoma girl.
Yeah.
I am the only Tacoma girl.
Yes.
No, realistically.
That's like out there, like you're representing.
And I claim Tacoma. I claim Tacoma.
There we go. Well, actually, Julian just told me that the next year for the Culture Ball is going to be in Tacoma.
Really?
Swear.
Wait, we can't put that in there.
No, he said it on the interview.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine.
Where at?
Oh, I think he's still looking for a place.
I think it's Edison Square. I feel like they're going to do Edison Square.
Edison Square would be cute. Yeah, that would be a great place.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about capacity.
Yeah. There's an upstairs bathroom.
No, you definitely need bigger than that. I would say the Tacoma Armory.
Where's that at?
It's actually just up the hill, but but that's like a stage and stuff. We don't need all that.
Yeah.
No. We'll find a place. Anyways. So what are tell us some of your goals in ballroom.
I really, really, really want to keep winning. I've kind of been on a losing streak recently, and I'll admit that, you know, I've been on a losing streak, but, you know, we're going to pick it back up. You know, I got to represent for my Lubies and my Ninja.
You never lose. You always learn.
That's right. I never lose. I always learn. Definitely that. But I just want to keep elevating because for me, like, this is just the beginning. Like, I've only been in ballroom for 2 years, and I feel like how far I've come and how many times you know, my dedication to walking is, like, out of this world. And I feel like I want to keep applying that. So I feel like my goal is to, you know, become a star and then become a statement and then become a legend. And, you know, all that. I want the full ballroom experience. And, you know, I'm just going the hard way, you know, just gonna keep popping it.
So what are some examples of steps you're planning to take towards that, you know, that path?
Well, getting into the studio, you know, often, you know, practicing my craft, working on my craft, you know, preparing for the balls and just continue, like, and doing extensive preparing. Like, I'm going all out for this up and coming strike a pose. for the Pride Ball. Happy Pride, everybody.
I'm gonna be there too.
Yes, yes. All they're gonna say is, I'm feeling like a lesbian.
I love that chant so much.
Yes. Notorious Telfar.
Is it? Wait, did Tori come up with that? Yeah, I think that's Tori's original. That was
Cause like a lesbian, honey.
so cute.
A lesbian.
Okay. So, what about like community though? Like, what are your plans for to invest and grow your community?
Oh, the community. Well, I mean, this is really early for me to say because I've only been in the ballroom scene for 2 years, but I do want to become a house mother. I do want to branch out and make a chapter for the Loubies or like the Ninjas, or I want to get to that point where I have a whole little, like a Seattle chapter.
Build it from the ground up.
Right, right. But only the best of the best, honey. Only the best of the best.
Of course, of course.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is some advice you would give to anyone who wants to get into ballroom?
Just do it. Just do it. Our inner
Well, maybe not just do it though. Do your research first.
No. I mean, if you are wanting to walk a ball,
that's one way to do it.
If you want to, because you know what? We all have our anxiety. We all have our...
Yeah, but you want people to jump in and get chopped from the very beginning.
Okay, well, that's how you learn. To fail is to learn. Like
that's
you
real.
said, to lose is to learn. And I when I want to walk, I just walked. You know what? You'll never know what it's gonna be. And these are for people who really really want to get into ballroom, but they don't know where to start. Just do it. I mean, of course, come into the scene and the space, being educated.
I mean, you want to know something. At least watch some clips.
Oh, yeah.
And then, actually, that should be enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's the assumption for, like, if you're getting into ballroom, you probably saw it on social media. So, yeah, like,
No, I love that.
take your time.
I love that advice because I feel like, experiencing a chop is all part of the journey too. Like, see, sometimes you do have to just take it.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Like, I mean, I've only gotten chopped for my effect, so. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
And for runway, like one time.
Wait, oh yeah, you did do runway that one time.
It was a really sloppy night.
It's okay. Well, you still did performance that night, right?
Yes.
And you didn't get chopped for that. Did you win that category?
No. No, I didn't.
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I want to ask more about your hopes for ballroom. I like hearing about your plans and stuff. Like, because I like where we're headed with this, about how is it evolving, where you see it going. And,
well, I hope that, the C-Tech ballroom scene, specifically the Tacoma scene, begins to grow, more. Because I do know a few girls out here who want to Vogue and have the urge to do it. But that's why I was saying, like, you just got to do it. So I really hope to see the Tacoma scene grow with more girls and butch queens. I want to see it all. Bring it to the floor, honey. And I want to see more people coming out to Seattle so we can wake it up. I want to see people fly out. I want Seattle to be a scene where we're taken seriously. Not saying that's
like you said, it's still a baby scene. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I want to see it just continuously grow. So, yeah.
I feel like we're past baby. I feel like we're at least toddlers.
Like, toddlers of the scene. Like, yeah, like...
We're getting somewhere.
Compared to the other scenes.
Other baby scenes.
Yes.
And, like, that's just part of the journey. You got to start somewhere.
Right.
Whether it's in ballroom or your city. And it's totally possible to start somewhere wherever you are. But what sorts of things do you think would make it easier or can support people who are getting a ballroom? Like, what would you like to see in terms of resources?
I want to see.
Maybe like practice spaces, even.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I want to see practice spaces. I want to see more community building because I feel like, at some degree, the girls can be really like standoffish and like, kind of just. They just be watching you, but we all need to come together, especially because our scene is so small. Like, we don't have to sit in the corner giving sour eyes. You know what I mean? Like, let's welcome people with open arms. Because when we're at the sessions and when we're just kikiing outside of a ball, you don't like. I don't feel like there's a necessary need. Like, there's a need for shadiness, and to like a degree.
Why do you think that is? Where does that come from?
I don't know. Some people could be just guarded, and I understand that. Some people just, we all have our own things going on, but
yeah, most of the time I feel like it's not even personal.
no, it's never personal.
It's never personal.
I just. Well,
sometimes it is personal. I don't know.
No, because some of the girls think they're it, and I'll say that some of the girls think they're it, but honey, we don't have to always be cat canoeing like that, like, because I'm a girl's girl, and it's just like, yeah.
Okay, well, I do want to close out the interview with some rapid questions.
Okay.
So would you be down for that?
Of course, teeny weeny.
Okay, so with the format for this is like just answer it in like whether it's a word or a sentence or a few, like that's the rapid question. So if you had to set a law or rule that everyone in the world had to follow, what would that rule be?
Protect the dolls.
Okay.
Protect the dolls.
If there was going to be a movie about your life, what would that movie be?
It would be...
Or what would you name it?
Her name would be Tiana Armani, the movie.
Perfect.
Yes.
Who do you want to play you?
Me.
Perfect. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is... I love that one movie. You know what I mean? That one movie.
That one movie.
Yes.
I know that movie.
Yes, thank you. I don't really watch movies. I'm more of a show person.
Honestly, I feel like I'm not really a movie person either.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, I like to... if I'm watching a movie, I like to watch it at home.
Right.
Where I can pause it.
Well, I recently just watched Sinners, the one that with Michael B. Jordan and Hailey Steinfeld, whatever her name is, Miss Thing. But yeah, all I gotta say, it was a scary movie. It was a comedy, and it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie.
Wait, was it actually scary?
Low key. I was like, what's going on? Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. It's a vampire movie.
It's a bunch of vampires just eating each other. It's a little freaky.
I was trying to get Chris to watch it, but he's like, I don't like vampire movies.
Yes, and it definitely gagged me for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it then. I'll probably wait till I can watch it at home. No shade. All right. Well, do you want to close out with any words for our listeners? Like, what's your message to them?
My message for you guys is to love yourself and show yourself compassion, and always remember to keep your head up. Never look down, because that's not what the stars are, honey. And the sky's the limit. Y'all have a really blessed day. I'm so glad to be here.
Period. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. I will see you next week. And thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
I can't wait to be back.
You killed it.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye and goodbye.